Well, hey there, and welcome back. In this lesson, I want to discuss how we can tap into that joy that only God can give. Because the Bible says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So if we're going to be strong and we're going to be courageous and we're going to put ourselves out there and, maybe you battle imposter syndrome. If this is new to you, maybe you're worried about what other people might think. All these negative thoughts start to really just wreak havoc on our minds as we go through our daily lives, as we're putting stuff together, as things get difficult. And it's like, how are we steadfast in what we're doing? And how do we just tap into joy that only God can give, so that no matter what comes our way, we're able to be calm, cool, and collected. We're able to really just not let Satan disturb our peace and our joy. So let's go ahead and dive in, because this is super important when it comes to mindset and thought life and our belief systems. So in this lesson, we're just going to talk about the power of joy. This is literally my favorite verse in the whole Bible. And it's Hebrews verses 12, 1 through 3. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, that you will not grow weary and lose heart. And I don't even think I need to explain what that means. But I studied this verse for months, just breaking it down, reading it over and over and over again. I just couldn't get enough of it. And it's mind-blowing to me. For the joy set before him. So he was looking ahead. He had his eyes fixed on God, and he was able to endure the cross, scorning its shame, and then sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. It's just mind-blowing. So joy is very powerful, and it is saying that, in verse 2, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. This is what he did, and this is what I've been able to model in my life that has really helped me not waver in, I should say this. People who meet me and know me say that I'm the most even person they've ever met in their entire life. And it's not because I'm special. It's because I make it my life's mission to seek God, to seek his face, to be filled with his spirit, to be filled with his joy, so that no matter what happens in my life, I've had tragedies in my life, it's an unwavering joy that only God can bring. And as we create our businesses online, we need that strength. If the joy of the Lord is our strength, we've got to learn how to tap into that joy. So most people don't believe it when I tell them I'm an introvert, but I am a very painfully shy person. I am an introvert. I'm uncomfortable being on camera right now. I don't even enjoy this. I'm doing it because I know that this is what I have to do in order to get what God has given me in my mind to you. I've got to extract it and give it to you. So, but as an introvert, I had to learn how to take my eyes off myself and plant them firmly on Jesus. I had to take his example, and I had to focus on my destination, that who am I statement, the race that's marked out for me. And I had to tap into the joy that only God provides, so that I would have the strength needed to get past the struggles and adversities that would come my way. And trust me, there have been so many. So if you're going to make an impact, you'll need to find a way to tap into that joy that only God can provide. And there are people right now, they are looking for you and they can't find you because you're hiding, because you're not out there yet. So if you're anything like I was starting out, you were terrified to start because maybe what other people might say or think about you, or maybe you feel like an imposter. You've heard all of the excuses, maybe you've said them yourself, of why people just stay stuck. But here's the deal. People are going to talk no matter what. And Satan is using this in your life to keep you right where you are because he wants you to be paralyzed. So remember, he does not want the will of God to be worked out in your life. So when God brought Hebrews 12, 1 through 3 into my life, 12, 1 through 3 into my life, it really made me realize that Jesus is truly the author and perfecter of our faith. And it made me realize that he is the perfect example. So how do we start having the confidence that we need in order to tap into this joy that only God can give? And for me, it was literally learning how to look in the mirror and fall in love with the person God created me to be, like flaws and all. Like I said, you must look in the mirror, fall in love with who God created you to be, not in a selfish, prideful, egotistical way, but in a grateful way that he made you kind of way. And you start by understanding that he created you and knit you together perfectly in your mother's womb. He laid out every thoughtful detail you could ever imagine before you were born. Psalm 139:13 is a beautiful illustration of this. For you formed my innermost parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. So the way that you are is the way that he created you. So look at what God did on the cross for you. You must believe your worth. And he did it because he loves you so much and desires to have a relationship with you. He literally hung his son on a cross for you. You matter so much to God that he let his son die for your sins. Past, present, and future. So nothing you do surprises God. So give yourself the freedom to extend some grace and mercy on all of your imperfections. When we do this, it's amazing how many chains are broken and how much weight is lifted. We don't need to be anything more than what he's already made us. So God doesn't keep an inventory list of everything that you do wrong. So we must walk every day accepting our faults and knowing it's okay because he's got us. So when you start to fall in love with yourself and all your imperfections, you would truly be able to love and see others through the eyes of Christ. And this is the goal of this section, is to help you start having positive conversations with yourself, if you're not already. So our problems don't go away, but we can always learn to approach them differently, and we can approach them in a healthy way that produces a good fruit. So remember what it says in Genesis 50:20, that what the enemy means to harm us, God will use for our good. So we must have faith that the God of the universe is big enough to work out his will through our lives, even when we're not perfect. So our thought life can get the best of us, and with everyone focused on physical and health, it's so easy to forget to take care of our mental health. Again, where the mind goes, the man follows. And I found this to be true in my life, and I'm sure you find it to be true in yours. So in this next exercise, you'll peel back the curtain of your thought life, how you speak and respond to yourself, and it will help you start finding a deeper sense of joy and freedom by learning how to evaluate yourself and circumstances in a way that produces good fruit. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go through this workbook real quick together with you. So this is the today I choose joy. So creating habits that produce joy. Take some time to explore and unpack these choices of maturity and character by answering the following questions. Teaching others versus being taught. What are you currently learning that you could begin sharing with others today? And what steps can you take today towards becoming a better teacher for others? Again, we're here to serve. We've got to take the focus off of ourselves. Self-evaluation versus self-criticism. Do you opt for self-criticism or self-evaluation? Are you your own best friend or worst enemy? What changes can you make today towards becoming a better evaluator of yourself? And I know some of this stuff gets personal, but this is truly, when you get on the other side of this, this is where that joy comes from. Just being able to look in the mirror, being able to fall in love with yourself, see yourself the way that Christ sees you, enjoying your own company, not having a negative thought life. So that's what all these exercises are for. Because like I said, if you're going to pursue a business online and you're going to be out there, it can be very tough. And so my job in this whole mindset and belief systems is just to equip you and give you the tools that I use in order for you to be strong, to have joy, and to pursue that life that you desire. So seeking unity versus promoting disunity. Are you committed to working with and understanding other people, or are you more interested in just doing things your own way? What changes can you begin making today to better understand others and begin working towards unity with other people? Living by faith versus living in fear. Do you take risks in faith that things will work out for the best, or you tend to play it safe in fear, making mistakes? So how much more could you achieve with your life if you would stop exercising fear and start exercising more faith? Are you life governed by truth versus by feelings? Are you completely honest with yourself and others in all areas of life? Do you hold yourself back just to keep peace with others? Who could you be more honest with today if you weren't worried about how others would react? Desiring growth and challenges versus desiring pleasure and happiness. Do you embrace challenge and look for ways to grow and develop yourself, or are you more inclined to shy away from change? What areas of your life could you start improving yourself in today to become greater value to others? And then last but not least, developing self-awareness versus emotional reactiveness. Do you evaluate life and circumstances from an objective viewpoint, or are you more inclined to react emotionally to other people and the circumstances that you face? What changes can you begin making today to help you develop a greater degree of self-awareness? So again, this is really just for you to be able to take an internal inventory of just choosing joy. So your homework is going to be to go ahead and complete the Creating Habits That Produce Joy workbook. And that's all for now. I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.